Delegation, by the way, is part of the process. Clarify the objective, plan to meet the objective, delegate the plan. Part of the management process, delegation process, essentially is a 4, 5, 3-step process. Starts with communication of the plan. Here is the plan. I am asking you to do this because I need you to do it. I would like you to do it, etc., etc. But there needs to be communication of the plan. And the motivation essentially is the why, the reasoning behind it. We'll talk more in a minute too about motivation. But you in management might leave motivation out. Management just might go communicate, monitor, review. But I'm starting to think that starts to move a little bit more towards abdication than delegation. So I think the motivation is important, is to want people to want to do it and have a drive to do it. We could even argue the monitoring bit. I would suggest any good delegation needs a monitoring process. If not, that's high risk. So potentially, if it's part of training or development, you may just communicate, motivate, and review. You could even just communicate and review. I see that a lot. But monitoring, supervising, checking, all of those words might fit in that box there. There needs to be some kind of keeping an eye on the process, because you're not abdicating, you're delegating, to ensure that it's going well and we don't fail, or we're able to stop it if it is. And then, of course, a degree of review. So that review is kind of how it went, maybe offering some feedback, checking in on the results, of which then, we kind of go through this loop, because either it's been successful, well, great. If we have some kind of success, then we can move forward to the next objective. If we've had a degree of failure, we can go carry a process on. Either we then go down the development route, is what have we learned and how we then get it better next time, or potentially we go down the discipline route. Go back to our reasons why people don't perform, because they've chosen not to do something, then potentially there's disciplinary routes. Either way, it's a management process. We're just following a process. So having a clear management process that you follow, that you understand, and that others are able to follow and understand is absolutely key to high performance and key to getting people to do what we want, because people understand the what and the why. I would suggest that most people, if they have a clear objective, a good plan, and are delegated to, would be happy. If they could turn up, do their day's work, and go home again consistently and get paid a good, a fair day's pay, what do we need to worry about things like motivation? They will be motivated. Maybe.